He's a tough street-fighting lawyer with the highest ratings for honesty and integrity. He's here to answer your legal questions and get you the help you need. You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with your lawyer, Joe Ingram of Joe Ingram Law. Joe Ingram has more than 20 years' experience fighting for his clients here in the state of Alabama. Joe's focus is criminal defense and family law. You don't have to face your legal issue alone. You've got Joe Ingram on your side. In case of sensitive legal matters, you can always reach out directly to Joe at joeingramlaw.com and arrange for a private consultation. And now, Alabama's defender of the defenseless, protector of the people, and all-around good guy, Joe Ingram.
All right. You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram, your Alabama lawyer, on WERC 105.5 in Birmingham, WBHP up in Huntsville, and WRTR in Tuscaloosa. The primaries, they are finally going to be here Tuesday, and I am sure most of you out there will be glad to quit seeing all the commercials on TV. And for the undecided 30% out there that I saw the other day, how, why, where have you been? 30% are supposedly still undecided. Now, that number could be a misnomer in that some people are just like, I'm not going to tell somebody who I'm going to vote for, right? I get that. But for the most part, where have you been for the last 3 months or last 30 days? And if you don't vote, please, you can't complain if you don't vote. Don't vote. So Tuesday, go out, vote. It's your constitutional right. We are going to have a number of candidates that are running for office and have been on the show the last couple of months that may call in today. We anticipate having Caroleene Dobson, who is running for the Secretary of State position. We anticipate Jay Welborn, who is running for an open new judgeship in Shelby County, to call in. We also think Pam Casey, who is the elected DA of Blount County, Alabama, she's running for the Attorney General's office on the Republican side of the ticket. We anticipate her the second hour, so you'll want to tune in if you want to hear Pam. And then we also believe that in the second hour, we're going to have Jared Hudson. Jared Hudson, former United States Navy SEAL, who is running for United States Senator, the seat to replace Tommy Tuberville. Hopefully he's going to join us around 7:30. So if you want to hear Pam Casey or Jared Hudson, they're going to be here hopefully for the second hour to make their final pitch to you in the home stretch here in the coming days of why you should vote for any of them. And I'm not picking one or another for any candidate. This weekend, God love them. All these candidates, I feel for them. They are going all over the state, nonstop, 24/7. Any breakfast meeting, any lunch meeting, any dinner meeting, if there is a cow festival, if there's a circus in town, anywhere there are people to be found, they're going to be out trying to get votes for their elections. I don't really envy them, nor do I ever want to do that. So we're getting close, folks. We've got a new concept, and I'm going to pitch this out, and I hope you respond. My law firm is looking at 2 new slogans. Here they are. 1, Better Call Joe. Better Call Joe. It's not like Better Call Saul. It's just a little simpler. Better Call Joe. Second option. Hey, I know Joe Ingram. Get in a car wreck? Hey, I know Joe Ingram. Those are food for thought. we're testing them out. See what you think. Let me know what you like. As always, we ask you to listen to our show, download our podcast, share it, like it with your friends and families, even your enemies. Encourage others to tune in as well. And please, please, please go to iTunes. Give me a 5-star review. My podcast, we're trying to bump it up in the ratings. So please do that for me. Before we get to some topics today, this is something that I have been thinking about the last week. I have been in court every day, almost 8 to 5. I'm exhausted this week. And someone made a comment the other day to me about what they thought of lawyers. Lawyers sometimes do not have the best reputation in the world. I get it. But I want to share something with you, and I hope this resonates with you, and it might actually mean a lot to you. The longer I practice law, the more I notice law does not just teach you rules, it teaches you how to think about everything else. Law teaches you to separate facts from feelings. It teaches you that timelines matter in a case. It teaches you to separate emotions from the law. It teaches you to think about what you can know and what you can prove in a courtroom, meaning you have to have evidence. It teaches you that the truth, even if it is slow to process, the law teaches you that fairness is rarely loud. It is usually quiet, careful, and process-driven. The law teaches you that the strongest position is the one that acknowledges its own weakness in their own case. After you've practiced law for a number of years, experienced lawyers start thinking about life this way. And I want to back up just a second. The sentence about acknowledge your own weakness in your case. When I take a case, I want to know the good, bad, and the ugly. I have strengths, my case. My client may have weaknesses. And then somewhere in the middle is the gray. So when you take a case and you're a lawyer, you put blinders on like a racehorse because you want to believe your client and be their advocate. But at some point, you start have to asking, there are 2 sides to this story, and maybe even 3 sides or 4 sides to the story. So you have to start looking at, where are the weaknesses in my case? It takes a while to learn to think that way. So again, experienced lawyers start thinking that way after they've practiced law for a long time. And I think what my client can prove or cannot prove, or what the state can prove in a case, or what the state cannot prove. You learn to be more trusting, calm, measured with those that you can trust on the other side of the aisle. And then there are those that if you tell them something, you're not sure if you can believe them. I have some people that I have to deal with. If they told me this building was on fire, I would either want to hear the fire alarm go off or I'd have to go outside and see if the building was on fire myself. Some people just don't have any credibility in our business. So you have to learn to be honest brokers with your adversaries. That takes time to build on both sides of the coin. Law profession, it is a discipline of your mind that gradually changes how you see the world. Just as every 5 years you get better as a practicing lawyer. I really believe that. And that continues why really good lawyers have two careers. I have the career that I have right now in the courtroom, and the one that I'm shaping in every other room that I walk into in my everyday life, every day of the week. I learn something almost every week. In fact, I was in 4 different courtrooms in 3 different counties this week. I learned something from Monday that helped me on Wednesday in another county. That's called being retrospective and learning on the job. And that's why it's called the practice of law. And so you gain a new experience every time, just like a batter does in a baseball game. The more times you get in the batter's box, the more chance you get to get a hit or get a home run. And your average goes up, just like practicing law. Just a little philosophy there from my week of practicing law. Something I really thought about. As always, my office represents people from Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, and Mobile. If you need representation, please call my office, 205-825-5297. Speak with an intake specialist. Or you can look us up on the web, joeingramlaw.com. joeingramlaw.com. Is that all you need to know for legal representation in the state of Alabama? There you go. We're going to have a number of guests today, and while we do that, we are going to reach out to some folks during the show as time permits. So right now, the news of the week is the election, and we're going to talk about the Alabama redistricting that came into play this last week. They ran it through the legislature. KIB signed it. They've already set a target date for those primaries. I think it's August the 11th, if it passes through with court approval. President Trump is in China, and everybody's missed the greatest news of the week. Jerome Powell, the Fed chairman, is gone. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. He's not dead, but he's not the Fed chairman anymore. Kevin Warsh passed the Senate vote this week. Party line vote, 54-45, excuse me. He's the new Federal Reserve chairman. And it's been overlooked because Trump's in China. But this is really good news for us as American citizens and the economy and the banking industry and interest rates that affect all of us as citizens. I do not anticipate a major shift in policy right out of the gate from Fed Chairman Warsh, but we shall see where he goes, and looking forward to his first meeting. There's been a lot of economic data come out in the last couple of weeks. And yes, this Iranian war is affecting all of us. You didn't need me to tell you that. Go buy some gas. I think gas has gone up to, I think I paid $4.12 this week. It keeps going up. And it's about to be summer driver season. So yes, the economy is greatly being affected right now by this war. And I hope it gets better before Labor Day, because if it doesn't, the Republicans will suffer greatly in the midterm elections. I think they got to Labor Day to get this resolved, and then the time runs out on them. Something that is unusual, Jay Powell, usually when the Federal Reserve new chairman comes in, the old Federal Reserve chairman kind of exits, gets off the stage, if you will. Jay Powell's not doing that. He's going to stay on the board of governors. Now, he's not going to come out and make a speech. He's not going to do that. He's too eloquent for that. He's a gentleman. But at the same time, he's kind of sticking it to Trump. He's going to be a thorn in his side until this DOJ issue is thoroughly taken off the concern about the testimony. So I'm a little disappointed that Jay Powell is just not going to walk away and go into the night. So that's going to be interesting to see how the votes come down for the next Federal Reserve meeting, where they determine if they're going to change interest rates, whether he'll vote or not, or if he'll just abstain from voting. That's going to be interesting to watch at best. So I'm a little disappointed with Jay Powell as a Republican that he's just not going to go home. Some big legal news this week that I want to talk about. There were 4 big class action settlements that were announced this week, and they're huge. One involves Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is probably, I guess, the largest insurance company in the United States, to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, there was a settlement reached in a class action case, $2.67 billion. Now, that sounds like a big number, but when you think about the number of people that probably have Blue Cross and Blue Shield insurance, that may not really seem like a really big number when you start thinking about it. And the lawsuit obviously was based on thinking that Blue Cross Blue Shield basically had a monopoly and they could charge higher premiums, and they probably do. But I will say this: I have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have a really good plan, and I'm really comfortable with what I pay and what my premiums are and what my deductible is. I really am. It's better than all the alternatives because we check them every year. But anyway, it's a $2.67 billion settlement, and it is for people that had insurance between February of 2008 and October of 2020. The sad part is, if I got this correct, you could receive up to $300 as part of being a member of the class action settlement. $300? Are you kidding me? What do you think the plaintiff lawyers got as part of the class action settlement? I was doing the math. $2.67 billion. Let's just say they got a third. So 10% would be, what's 10% of $2 billion? $200 million? Yeah. Isn't that right? $600 million. Whoa. Let's just call it even $700 million. That's a good day for plaintiff lawyers. That's a really good day. But by the way, let me say this. If you have a class action settlement with that kind of members, it's a lot of paperwork to send out all the checks, make sure everybody gets paid. It's a lot of bookkeeping. It's a lot of counting. It's a lot of all that minutia. I get all that. But still, $700 million goes a long, long way. The next settlement I want to talk about, there were 4. So that was Blue Cross. The next one is related to Apple AI. I'm a little disappointed in this one. And here's why. There was a lawsuit filed against Apple AI related to their iPhones, the iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and iPhone 16 models. Now, you got to remember, Apple is a $1 trillion company on the stock exchange. $1 trillion. In fact, I think they were the very first company to reach a $1 trillion value on the stock exchange. The class action settlement, this is a very low number, $250 million. That's like pocket change to them. In fact, I think they actually have more cash on hand than $250 million. Seriously, I really do. I know I've read some statistics before. Steve Jobs was very, very conservative when he came back about having money on hand. $250 million, that's nothing to them. They probably laughed about it. They didn't care. If that applied to you and you were able to be in that class, I guess you're going to get $1. No, actually, I take that back. You get a $95 per device. I bet you it's a credit, John. I bet you don't even get a check. I bet you they give you a $95 credit towards the new iPhone to sell you a new iPhone. Anyway, the third class action settlement that I found interesting this week was against Capital One. Now, Capital One is, one of the biggest credit card companies in the world. And they had created a savings account for credit card holders. I don't understand this one. This is new to me. Anyway, so they got a class action lawsuit because they didn't disclose to people that joined this savings account as part of your credit card plan, whatever, all the particulars. If I had to guess, if you have a Capital One credit card, probably 90% of those people, I bet you they had less than $1,000 in the savings account. I'm just picking a number there. Anyway, for the Capital One case, the settlement is $425 million. That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number. And to fall into this class action lawsuit, you had to have had an account between September 2019 and June of 25. And this is the best part. I love settlements. I love lawyers. Guess what your settlement number is based on? It is based on the value that you had in your account. So I did some math. If you had $1,000 in your savings account, you might get $10. How much did the plaintiff lawyers get? $425 million? What'd they get, $100 million? Oh, my goodness. I need to get a class action lawsuit. I really do. I need to get a class action lawsuit. Are we going to break already? We're going to break. We're going to news and weather. We'll be back. We're expecting Jared Welborn to call in a few minutes. See you in a minute.
You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with your lawyer, Joe Ingram. If you need confidential legal help off air, reach out to Joe at joeingramlaw.com. Stay tuned for more. Joe will be right back after this break for news and weather. You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram. Joe is a 20-year veteran of the Alabama courts specializing in criminal defense and family law. If you need a private legal consultation, email Joe at joeingramlaw.com. And now, welcome back to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram.
All right. We're back for the second segment of the first hour of The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram, your Alabama lawyer, on WERC 105.5 in Birmingham, WBHP up in Huntsville, and WRTR in Tuscaloosa. And we are fortunate to have Miss Caroleene Dobson. She's called in this morning. And Caroleene, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing wonderful. Just another day on the campaign trail. Grateful to get to meet so many wonderful Alabamians and share our message of secure elections and a strong economy.
Yeah. Caroleene, I haven't seen you since the middle of March, so that's almost 2 months ago to the day. Goodness gracious. Are you counting the days and the hours now? Are you ready? Huh?
Well, I'll certainly be excited to have a little bit more of a regular schedule and get to be able to spend more time with my family, certainly. But it's really been a blessing to get to see so much of the state. And like I just said, get to meet so many wonderful people. That's certainly, I think, our greatest resource here in Alabama. We are abundant in resources, but I think, that's our greatest gift, are the just number of wonderful people in our state that are trying to make it better. And so it's inspiring every day. So I'll certainly miss having an excuse to get to jump from Cherokee County to Washington County and everywhere in between and get to, have a reason to invade people's day-to-day lives and learn from them and visit with them. So it's been a privilege, but yes, I'm a little road weary. I'll admit that my voice is a little crackling. So Tuesday evening will be welcome too.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you if you've kept up with it or kept a journal of your running for election. How many miles do you think you've gone, and how many speaking engagements do you think you've done, or did you keep track of it?
I do. I have a notebook. I don't have a tally, on the exact number of speaking engagements. And as far as my vehicle, I got it serviced right after the new year. So, I do know at least from January until today, I've put close to 50,000 miles. Just in 2026. On my vehicle, traveling all over the state. So, yes, it's been a lot of time on the road, but especially when it comes to Secretary of State's office, election integrity, because elections are locally administered by probate judges and then in municipal races by city clerks, it's kind of imperative to me to travel across the state and kind of hear what's going on in each county. And, some counties are truly models for how elections should be run, but they're experiencing high population growth. And it's not that people worry about election fraud. It's more, we need more precincts. You go to vote and it takes 2 and 3 hours to vote. In other counties, citizens are concerned that maybe rules aren't being followed. So it's also, in addition to campaigning, for me, running for this particular office, it's also been fact finding. So it's been, it's been very important. If I want to do a good job in this office, that I have built those relationships, that I have been on the ground in each of the 67 counties to see what's going on and to hear from people, hear their concerns and hear their praise for, a lot of folks are in certain counties, they have nothing but great things to say about their probate judge. There's a real transparent process, but so it's behooved me to put in those miles if I want to do a good job.
Hey, I had to get some records from the Secretary of State's office a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking about you, and I thought if I get to talk to her one more time, I'm going to get to yell at you. If you become the Secretary of State, y'all gonna have to work on some of these fees. I mean, it's getting ridiculous what I had to pay to get
Absolutely.
I'm not fussing
no.
at you. I'm just telling you. I was a little aggravated.
Oh, that's understandable, and that's something in my day to day. You know, I'm a transactional corporate attorney. I'm not in the courtroom, but I am constantly working on closings where I need those records, or working to help a client form an LLC or change an LLC to in order to sell property or buy property or lease property. And it's ridiculous, the current fee structure to change a registered agent, to keep your records updated with the office. That transaction alone, which happens in a matter of seconds, costs $100. So that's going to be day one across the board, lower some of these fees and make it a little less frustrating to get on the website and use it, find out where you need to go, make it more intuitive as well.
Yeah. I mean, the process is good, and there's a lot of forms on there, and it, a lot of it is very user-friendly for people that are lawyers. I'm not complaining about any of that. There's a lot of good things there already in place. Some of the fees are a little high right now, and I'm just venting.
There's always room for improvement, and that, the fee structure, and again, just making it a little bit more easy. I mean, again, when this economy, small businesses in particular are struggling, and so any way we can alleviate the burden on them, be it red tape or be it the fees or both, I want to do that. Okay.
Let me ask you, in the final couple of days here, where you headed big? What is there anything big this weekend where there's like an event where there's a lot of people? I mean, I'm not really in the know. What's your plans for the weekend, Caroleene?
Yes, no. Well, there are things going on throughout our state. I'm a sponsor for a big fish fry that the Point Clear Republican women put on. This is an annual thing for them, and it's a great event. And then tomorrow, I've never attended this. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the Arley Women's Day Festival. So the Arley Women's Club up in Winston County, they put on a big festival for kids, and they have vendors and they have a parade. But they have an area, with the blow up bouncy castles and all sorts of kids activities, and it's free for kids, and they give out free hot dogs for kids. And I was so touched by this. I think they initially put on this festival decades ago, and there was some sort of small entry fee, and they quickly learned that there were kids in the community who couldn't come because their parents couldn't afford to pay for them to come. And so because of that, of course, they charge, vendors who want to come and sell stuff, of course. But if you're a kid, you can come for free, play on the bouncy houses, get a hot dog. And so I think that's such a great example of folks seeing a need, stepping up to provide in their community. And so I'm really excited to be up there in Arley tomorrow, spend the night in Coleman tonight, and then on Monday going to be in Jackson County. Jackson County Republican women have a big county candidate forum in Jackson County. And then doing some other radio hits and things kind of throughout. And then on election day, I'm sure I'll be poll greeting and bouncing around as well. So, but that's kind of some of the things going on this weekend.
Okay. Let me ask you, on Tuesday, where are you going to be for the results? Are you going to be at a hotel in Montgomery? Are you going to stay at home? What's your plans?
I'm staying at home. My husband and I and girls and some close friends and family are watching the results together. And I just, have been away from home a lot during the campaign. And so definitely wanted to watch the results with my family. And also our daughter, who's in kindergarten, her kindergarten play is 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. So I wanted to make sure that we were all there together and that she, we could hopefully do a long farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night at some point during the party for her, and get her upstairs into bed so she had some rest before her big moment on stage, in her 4-word line on Wednesday morning.
So hopefully we get some results maybe by 10 or 11. That's what you're
Yes, that's hopefully, yes.
And then if you become the Secretary of State next year, I'm going to start fussing at you while we're waiting on results.
That's right. No, then I will bear the brunt of all the frustration if there are delayed results.
Oh, very good. Well, Caroleene, what's your final message? I know you've said it 100 times, and I know you've said it so much in your sleep, you're sick of hearing yourself talk. What's your final message to the audience for those that are going to vote, hopefully, and use their constitutional right Tuesday to vote for you for Secretary of State of Alabama?
Well, my first message would be please vote and tell folks to go vote. I think with this redistricting, I think there's a lot of confusion. Elections are on. Please go vote. And when you get down to the Secretary of State, please vote for Caroleene Dobson. I humbly ask for your vote. Joe, I know you've had a lot of incredible candidates on your show throughout this election cycle, but something we all take for granted is that we get to be the deciders. And our Constitution contemplates that we are mandates, that we are the deciders, but that only happens if we have secure elections. We can have good, qualified people step up to run, and we can have folks like the folks who are listening, people that pay attention, that are engaged, that are informed voters who get out to vote. But that's all for nothing if we don't have secure elections. Secure elections are truly fundamental to the continuations of our freedoms, our liberties, that our Constitution guarantees. And so as your next Secretary of State, my number one priority is making sure that we have secure elections at every level of election, not just the big flashy elections, but municipal races too, regardless of where you live. If you live in in a big city, or if you live in a town of less than 1,000 people, I want to make sure that you have confidence when you go to exercise your constitutional right. And I also, again, want to make sure that we have a strong economy, that we are catering to the needs of small business owners throughout this state, making sure that it's easy, accessible, and affordable to start and grow a business, because small businesses are truly the backbone of our state's economy, and they've really been struggling in the past decade. So secure elections and a strong economy. Please vote for Caroleene Dobson on Tuesday.
Very good. Hey, Caroleene, I want to ask you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just want to ask you, did you keep the poem I sent you? Did you read it?
Oh, yes. No, it is actually, I wish I could FaceTime you. It is on our refrigerator right now. So really, really appreciated it. It is about, and especially I can tell you, with putting 50,000 miles on my vehicle in 2026 alone, it is about the journey. And so taking a moment to stop and appreciate, the process, the journey, and also just, be grateful for the very unique opportunity and experience I've had in the past months to, again, get to meet so many people whom I would have probably never crossed paths with without the opportunity to hopefully serve as our next Secretary of State. So no, thank you very much. It is on our fridge. It's been read to our two daughters, and I hope they will cherish it too, as they are just embarking on their journeys through life. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ms. Dobson, thank you for your time, and have safe travels this weekend. And we'll see how this thing turns out Tuesday night, okay?
That sounds right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it and hope to see you soon.
All right. Thank you, Caroleene. Bye-bye. All right, folks, that was Caroleene Dobson. I know she's exhausted. She's going to spend the night in Coleman tonight. Then she's going to Jackson County Sunday, and then something else Monday. Wow. And she's driven 50,000 miles since January. That's roughly less than almost 10,000 a month. Wow. That's and at the gas prices. Woo. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. All right. Well, one down and hopefully 3 to go if everybody can play along with the game today. Checking some text messages with folks and seeing what's going on. Okay. We got, 10 minutes left in this segment, right? Yes. John shaking his head. Yes, Joe, you should know by now. Okay. We are going to call, we're going to reach out to Jay Welborn here in just a second, and I think he's going to join us. Before we talked to Caroleene Dobson, we were talking about the big class action settlements. We did Blue Cross, we did the Apple AI, we did the Capital One, and then there's a fourth one we've got to talk about. Oh, which one is it? There's a fourth one. We'll get to it here in just a second. I think Jay's not in. We're working on Jay. That's the beauty of radio. You're trying to make things happen all at once. If you heard anything Caroleene said and take it to heart, the biggest thing to know is all the news out there about the redistricting does not affect the primaries this Tuesday. Please go out and vote Tuesday, okay? The primaries are Tuesday, May the 19th. So please go out and vote. We have Jay. We don't know where Jay is. Jay's gone MIA. Okay. Well, we shall see. But we'll work on Jay. It's a crazy weekend, and we're trying to work with everybody's schedule as the time permits today. So the biggest news. Oh, now he says he's available. Okay. John's like, what's the number, Joe? Give me the number again. I think we got him now. Just hang on, folks. Sorry. Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay. How are you, man?
Hey, Joe. I've got enough to say grace over and then some right now, Joe.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have Jay Welborn on the phone. Jay's running for a new open judgeship in Shelby County, and district court judge. Jay, hadn't got to see you in a while, man, or talk to you. What's new with you, dude?
Man, we've been wide open, Joe. I mean, I think since the last time I've seen you, we have put out the last round of signs and quit doing all of the hard busy work and been pounding the pavement. We've probably knocked on close to 3,000 to 3,500 doors Shelby County wide, trying to get the word out, trying to meet as many people face to face as possible, because I mean, that's what this race is all about. It's not necessarily about politics. It's about people, man. And it's about getting the people to believe that the court system works and that there's fairness and that they're going to be treated with respect and dignity, regardless of their station in life. And so we've really enjoyed the last 4.5, 5 weeks of just getting out and meeting people, man, and shaking hands.
Yeah. I'm looking back, trying to see. So you were on the show back in late February. So I haven't seen it. So it's been almost 3 months. Wow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I've asked all the same guests, and I know you're tired of answering all the same questions, and I know you could say your elevator pitch in your sleep. So Jay, how big is Shelby County, and how many times do you think you've circled it here in the last 3 months?
Well, it is 808 square miles, and I've hit just about every corner of it at least twice, if not 3 times, since I've been doing this. I mean, it's been a long 16 months. We started doing this January 5th of last year. Because, I mean, this position and the people that it represents and the people that it serves means that much to me. I mean, I gave up private practice even to do this full time. And so, because it's that important to me, and I believe in it that much.
Jay, what's your plans for this weekend? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. How many more speaking engagements do you have? Is there any more big events in Shelby County, like a fair or anything where you get out and what you got? Not that I know of. Helena's having their monthly free concert for the community in Shelby County called Old Town Live. They've got a great band coming tomorrow night, and I'm a volunteer with their group. Okay.
And so I will probably be finishing up putting toppers on signs today to remind people to get out and vote on Tuesday, the 19th. But I will cut out after I get the last ones of those up, and I will probably knock on a few doors, and I will be headed over to Buck Creek Park in Helena to help volunteer tonight. And then I will probably head back to the house around midnight after everything is set up and all the gates and everything are taken care of. And then I'll wake up like I do every morning at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll hit the ground running, and I will be knocking on doors all day long until dark. And then Sunday we'll get up and go to church, and then we may knock on a few doors on Sunday afternoon. But that's really the biggest part of the weekend is the game plan and pregame, and make sure that I've got everybody that's going to be at polling positions out for me on Tuesday. Get them their T-shirts and their signs to put out, and Monday we'll be back at it on the streets, knocking on doors and meeting people, and then Tuesday is the day, man. We'll get up early and we'll vote, and I'll get my people put where they're supposed to be, and then I will start making the rounds.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Jay. There's been so much talk in the last 2 weeks about this redistricting and the maps and all that. Do you think that's going to confuse some people on the street that doesn't keep up with as much as maybe you or I do in the news? Have you been concerned about anything like that?
I have actually encountered that knocking on doors. People are like, well, do we still vote on Tuesday? Yes. Regardless of whether you think that you're affected by the redistricting or not, please, everyone still go out and vote on Tuesday, May 19th, because the redistricting doesn't affect all of the elected positions that you're going to be voting for.
Right.
It only affects a very small select group of candidates. There are only 4 positions that are even affected by it statewide, if I'm not mistaken. And so it doesn't affect local elections. It doesn't affect state house. It's all about congressional districts in D.C. So everybody, I encourage still, please get out and vote on May 19th. Don't think that, because this has happened, your vote's not going to count. Get out and vote, because the probate judges are very well versed in our counties, and they know exactly whose votes are going to count for what races, and they will be the ones to sort that out. But we need everybody to still just get out and vote on the 19th.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Jay, hadn't talked to you in a while. I've talked to you on the phone once or twice in a couple of months, but I haven't asked you, and I don't know. There are you have 3 candidates in your race?
I got 3 opponents with me. Yeah, right now.
All right. You wanna predict whether you still going to have a runoff, or you going to run away with this thing?
I would love to think that I'm going to get at least 50% of the vote plus 1 extra one. I would love to be able to think that. But, in all reality, I think that it's going to go to a runoff. And, whoever it is, I think that I'm going to be in the runoff against whoever else. And there are 3 very strong candidates running against me. But like I said earlier, I've been doing this for 16 months now. I can do, 4 more weeks on my head. This is becoming almost like I'm not. I tell you, Joe, if I don't have a runoff, I'm not sure what I'm going to do or how to act come Wednesday, because I'm so used to getting up and putting on my tennis shoes and my campaign shirt to go out and knock on doors. I don't know what I'm going to. I don't know whether I'm going to know what to do with myself or not.
Yeah, I got bad news for you, Jay. It's school's out. It's vacation time. Nobody wants to see you for the runoff for the next 4 weeks. I'm sorry.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah, that's the bad part.
I'm tired of seeing myself at this point.
No. What I'm saying is, for the people that end up in a runoff, I feel sorry for those folks because that vote is really going to count, and that vote tally is going to be a very small number. And you know what I'm talking about.
It is.
Yeah.
I jokingly call any runoff election the friends and family vote. because that's really what it's about. I mean, it's about how many of your friends and how many of your family members that can vote for you can you get out and encourage them to go back to the voting polls one more time, to do this 4 weeks later. And so, yeah, I think that I'm actually,
Jay,
if I end up in a runoff.
Jay, we got to go to news and weather. Do you want to stick around for just a minute, or you want to go?
Sure, I can stick around for a little bit longer.
All right, we'll be back after news and weather with Jay Welborn. We'll be back at the top of the hour.
You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with your lawyer, Joe Ingram. If you need confidential legal help off air, reach out to Joe at joeingramlaw.com. Stay tuned for more. Joe will be right back after this break for news and weather. You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram. Joe is a 20-year veteran of the Alabama courts specializing in criminal defense and family law. If you need a private legal consultation, email Joe at joeingramlaw.com. And now, welcome back to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram.
All right, we're back for the second hour of The Legal Lowdown on WERC 105.5 FM in Birmingham, WBHP in Huntsville, and WRTR in Tuscaloosa. Tuesday, May the 19th, is primary day in Alabama, and we've had so many wonderful guests the last few months, and today we've had a couple people call in. We have Jared Welborn on the line. He's running for a new judgeship in Shelby County, Alabama. Jared, you still there, man?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Jared, we're down to the final hours. Let me ask you something. Where are you going to watch the results Tuesday night? Where are you going to be?
I'm probably going to be at the house, Joe. I mean, I don't have any big party planned, like we were talking about before the break. There's more than likely going to be a runoff in this, and I don't want to have a big party for people sitting around, to only find out, oh, we got 4 more weeks of this stuff. So after it's all said and done, I'll have a team of people running around to a lot of the polling locations to get preliminary numbers.
Yeah.
Of probably the top 6 to 10 ballot boxes here in Shelby County. And then I'm going to head back to the house, and I'm going to be in communication with my campaign consultant. And we will kind of monitor things as information rolls in from the courthouse, and just kind of sit back and wait, and maybe have a sandwich or two, and just kind of just enjoy having to be able to sit still,
right,
for a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. And maybe if you, maybe you just take Wednesday off. just.
Well, a lot of that depends on what happens Tuesday night, man. You've known me long enough and have watched me do this thing for so long. I don't quit. I really don't. I don't know what to do with myself with idle time. So, I have promised people that if I get out of this without a runoff, I'm going to start taking signs up on Wednesday, because nobody wants to see those things out any longer than they have to. But if I do, I will probably be out making phone calls and drumming up more support to get people out in 4 more weeks. So,
are you, if you have to do the runoff, are you out of money, or are you still good? Or,
well, I will tell you, we have kind of the Cortez outlook on things is that we burn the ships because there's nowhere to go but forward.
Yeah.
And so we're going to utilize every resource that we have, financial and otherwise, to get us through the primary.
Yeah.
And then if we end up in a runoff situation, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I've already had people commit to supporting me through the runoff if there is one. And so if it turns out that we need to raise more money, because we're going to try to utilize, like I said, every resource we've got. If it turns out that we need more money, I've got people that have already said, call me. And so I will do that.
Okay.
And we'll basically start filling up the pocketbook again to make another run in 4 weeks.
Yeah. We're talking with Jared Welborn. He's running for the new judgeship in Shelby County. It's a district court judge. And Jay, I think it's important for people to understand what this position's really about, related to your opposition in this race?
Yeah. Well, currently, I mean, we've got a huge caseload in district court. I mean, it's where about 95% of the business of the courthouse is done. Like the ER at the hospital, a lot of people come in to the hospital through the ER. 95% of the people that come into the court system come through district court. And the two judges we've got right now do a great job. We've got one that handles the majority of the criminal cases and one that handles all of the juvenile and family law cases. And then they've got about 3 or 4 days a month that they split everything else that district court covers, which is a lot of civil matters, anything dealing with money and property. They just don't have a lot of extra time. And so those cases, with the number that we have, need somebody that can address those on a regular basis. And it's my understanding that that's kind of what this seat is being assigned to, even though in Shelby County we don't have designated district versus, or designated civil versus criminal versus whatever seats. District court handles, a little bit of everything, but it is understood, I think, from at least my understanding and my point of view and other people, that it's going to handle a majority of the civil caseload. Yes. And so, I'm of the 3 people that are running against me, I think I can confidently say I'm the only one that has experience in hearing just about every single type of case that comes before district court, whether it's, boating violations because you don't have a fire extinguisher on your pontoon out on Lay Lake, or whether it's a juvenile delinquency matter or a contract breach or a landlord-tenant issue, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that's got that experience,
Yeah, so it's going to be like breach of contract, small claims, civil disputes, landlord-tenant cases.
Landlord-tenant, property lines. All that stuff.
Yeah. All the good stuff. A lot of people are pro se, like Judge Judy Court, all that.
Yes, it's a ton of pro se cases. I mean, and a lot of double pro se cases. And that's why I've been talking to some people in preparation for this to even see if we can do some things that are done in other counties, like the double pro se civil mediation docket. We've got people that, have a $600 or $700 case and they can't afford to go out and spend $1,000 on an attorney to come to court for them, because it doesn't make financial sense to them. And so, I've talked to people about working out a mediators program where, there's a couple of our surrounding counties that do a really good job of doing civil mediation like that. And, they're all on board to work with me, if elected judge, to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't give me that job if you wanted to, Jay. I'm sorry.
Well, there are definitely people that are cut out to be those judicial neutrals. I mean, it's a calling, that's for sure, Joe. And I mean, you are excellent at what law you practice. I will say that.
No, I just wouldn't do your job for any amount of money.
Well, fortunately, it doesn't pay as much as being a private practice attorney, but, somebody's got to do it. And, I believe in it enough to be the one to want to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. All right, Jay. So what's your closing speech to talk radio before you get on the road and start shaking hands again for two more days?
Those people that are out there in Shelby County ask you to get out and vote on May 19th for sure. But I also want to tell you, if you trust me enough to elect me to the bench and to serve you as a public servant in Shelby County, I want to trust the voters to hold me accountable. Because I've told a lot of people what my plan is to being on the bench, and it deals with treating people with dignity and respect and being fair and hearing every case fairly every time. And I want to trust them to hold me accountable. And I know that a lot of people that run for office don't say that, but I do. I make a promise that my office in Columbiana will be always open, and there will be a pot of coffee ready. And if y'all find out that I'm not doing what I promised I'm going to do, I want y'all to come down and knock on my office door and snatch a knot in my tail. And tell me that I'm not doing what I've promised I'm going to do. So accountability is important to me, and that's part of this job. I mean, you have to be accountable. And so I encourage people, and I want people to do that. And so, I mean, I know that sounds kind of odd to have somebody say, please hold my feet to the fire, but I mean, that's the way I live, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jay, I wish you safe travels the next couple of days. And
thank you, sir.
We will. We obviously, me. I'll be watching every news station I can in all over the globe, and we'll see how this turns out. Okay.
Fantastic, Joe. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, Jay. You be safe, okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of your weekend, Joe.
Thank you, Jay. Bye-bye. All right, that was Jay Welborn. He's running for Shelby County District Court Judge, and he's off the line. And now we have Pam Casey. John?
Next Attorney General for the state of Alabama.
Okay, folks, we have Miss Pamela Casey. She is the DA of Blount County and has been for 10 years, Pam? 12?
No.
16. Wait a minute.
16. Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
16
Don't get
years.
mad. Don't get mad at me, Pam. Pam.
It's okay. It's okay.
I wasn't trying to give you a bad number. I was just trying to, I'm running on my feet here.
Hey, it's been a long week.
Yeah. So we have Pam Casey. She's the DA of Blount County. She's running for the Attorney General on the Republican side of the ticket. And Pam, what's going to be next couple of days like for you?
Well, did a fish fry last night in Fairhope. I'll be today on Saturday. I'll be on in Priceville with some of our first responders. I'll finish up some last minute events, and then we'll start our GOTV Get Out the Vote process and push all the way until Tuesday night at 7:02. I've run 3 times. I've been elected 3 times as DA, and I believe you run like you're 2 votes behind until 2 minutes after the poll closes.
When I talked to you the other day, just to check in with you about, doing this today, you were in Orange County one other day this week, like Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yes, so Monday night. It was Monday night. I was doing meet and greet in Orange Beach, and so
you ran back down there again, Pam?
Yes, I did 700 miles Monday. Monday, I actually went to Center to speak at lunch, drove down to Orange Beach, did a meet and greet with about 50 or so people, and then drove back that night, got in about 2:30, and then I've come down today. They have their big fish fry that benefits their Veterans Court for Baldwin County. Good friends with the DA down there, and the women that put that on really do a good job raising money for, accountability courts are so important in the criminal justice system, and so it's an honor to get to come down to, or get to be down there last night to do the fish fry with them.
Okay. Pam, you have any prediction for Tuesday night, or you've already announced it when you came on the air? What do you think?
Well, look, we've worked hard. We feel like the momentum is where it needs to be. The tide is breaking at the right time. We had a big announcement of endorsement of Anaya Blanchard's mom this week. And, if you really look at how this race has gone, while my opponents have focused on the negative, I've focused on what I can do for the state of Alabama, protecting our families and protecting our children, and bringing them the message that we need a experienced prosecutor. And I'm the only one in the race that stepped into the courtroom, tried killers, tried child predators, and put them behind bars. So when I think of the people of Alabama, I believe they'll do their research. I believe they'll look for the most qualified candidate, and I believe on Tuesday night we'll be in that runoff, or we'll be victorious, and I look forward to serving them as their Attorney General. But look, that doesn't happen unless people get out to vote. So I don't want people to think, oh, she thinks she's got it in the bag. Absolutely not. I need your vote, a friend, a family. We vote on Tuesday. Our turnout's so low. We got to get everybody out.
Yeah. I'll share on the air what I told you the other day. I was down in Santa Rosa Beach about 2 weeks ago now. I saw signs for everybody in Andalusia, where I go through. And because I have my one little, I have one little road in, road out to where I go. And I said, Pam, I saw your signs in Andalusia. I said, but then when I got to Florala, there weren't any signs. No signs for anybody. I'm not kidding. There were no signs in Florala at all. And then you said something about they had to take them down or something like that. But,
yeah, I think they must have been taken down. We had a good bit down there, but, it goes through phases of what, communities will allow, or the state will come through, or, just things of that nature. I remember when I ran in 2010, the signs would get picked up by the highway department. My daddy worked at the highway department for 37 years before he died. And one of the little ladies down the highway department would call and say, hey, we got a bunch of signs down here. And I'd go down and dig through this big dumpster they had to get my signs out to save the money. So
They're not cheap.
They are not. And, look, we're excited. We've had a great time. I've been on the road since last January, traveling all over the state. I've learned so much about our state. I've enjoyed meeting people that otherwise would not have met, and created really long, what I feel like will be long lasting friendships, regardless of what happens Tuesday.
Where are you having a party Tuesday night, or are you going to stay at home?
We're having a party at our house. I have
Yeah.
never been a big, like, I don't want to spend that money, to be honest with you. I'm kind of cheap. I'm not going to throw a big old party. We think there'll be a runoff, and we'll look to do something then. But we will be at home. I had the media call the other day and said, well, where's the watch party? I said, it's at my house. And they said, well, what's the address? I said, no, you already lied. I guess they thought I was opening the doors to them. I guess they could come if they want to hang out with a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Well, you've given your cell phone out on the radio. Just give out your home address on the radio, Pam.
No. I'll protect that. Now, look, you can call me, but don't just show up at the house. We can meet somewhere to chat. So,
Just kidding.
No.
I had a question I was going to ask you. Gosh, what was I about to ask you? That was a good question too. Gosh,
I've eaten a lot of food on the road. I'll tell you that. I've gained 20 pounds on the campaign because the best food all over the state.
Well, you're just riding and driving. You're not getting any real exercise. So right now,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Whatever happens to I know what I was going to ask you. So,
all right.
In the state of Alabama, what do you think? You think by 10, 11 we know, or do you think it'll be earlier? What do you think? You thought about that?
Sometimes you're waiting on just some of those bigger counties to get their boxes in. Now, sometimes in Blount County, we don't have all of our stuff in until, close to 10. We're a smaller county. Depends on how far they are from the courthouse to turn them in. I'll probably go Tuesday night down to the courthouse and wait for some of the Blount County results. But I would say by 11, we would know, I would think. I mean, if we don't know, then we may have a problem.
Yeah.
They're expecting turnout to be low, is what I'm being told, just because the time of the year and everybody's, I was reminding people yesterday, hey, we're going to be on vacation. I was like, hey, you got to get an absentee ballot. And so I think end of school year, moms, we call it Maycember. It's getting the kids out of my daughter graduated preschool last night. And so, my little boy's last week is next week. And so you're literally just holding on as tight as you can. And I think it's just a hard time. You get a bigger turnout in March than you will in a May or June primary, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, I was just looking at the calendar on my phone. There's a 40% chance of rain Tuesday. So if it rains,
that will affect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are not going to get out in the rain and go vote.
Especially elderly. And you know that the majority of the voters in the state are 62 and older.
Yep.
And so they're either going to get out really early when most of them will get out and go, or they'll get out right before lunch. But depending on how bad the storms are, that will affect our turnout. So it's important that everybody gets out to vote, and you take somebody with you. I mean, especially, if you've got grandchildren or young children that are 18, 19, 20, grab them, take them for their first time to vote if they've never voted before, and remind them to vote Casey for Attorney General.
Okay. Well, Pam, how many have you? I can't remember when we talked. Have you kept a journal of how many events you've done?
No, I've probably done about 100,000 miles. Just week before last, we did 2,400 miles in that 1 week. My husband has we've conquered and divided the last few weeks. When I couldn't make an event, he probably covered, last Thursday he covered Enterprise for me in Coffee County, and then he left there and went to Bibb County and did an event while I was on the road all day. So we, over 100,000 miles, if you think about that. It's a lot. But I wish I had kept a journal. It's a roller coaster to give yourself to serve to people. But man, it's an awesome and just a amazing ride. And I'm so appreciative for all the people of the state that have taken the time to come out to events and and have listened to me and encouraged me. And I'm excited, and I'm ready. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready just to, get this behind us and move forward.
Well, if you make the runoff, Pam, you got
four more weeks.
You got 4 more weeks. It's not over yet, Pam.
I know. Yeah. But here, when I ran for DA in 2010, the runoff was 6 weeks. And that was the longest 6 weeks of my life. And it was in the summer. The primary was in June, early June. And the runoff was after the 4th of July. And it was so hot. And I knocked on so many doors. But I am so thankful they shortened that. It used to be 6, now it's 4. So, but hey, my birthday's at the end of the month. I told my husband, regardless, it's all over by the time my birthday rolls around.
Okay. Well, happy early birthday to you. And
I appreciate it.
So, Pam, I wish you very safe travels the next couple of days. I mean that sincerely. And thank you for putting yourself in the race. People don't understand that's never run for a statewide race what this is like. And I haven't either, but I get to watch people that do it, and so I have a little bit more respect for that, what you have to do. So I wish you well, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you all. All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. And to everybody, don't forget to vote Pamela Casey. I'm first on the ballot if you forget which one I am. So thank you, guys.
All right. Pam, have a good weekend, okay?
Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we had Jay Welborn, who's running for a judge in Shelby County, and then we had Pam Casey, who's running for the Attorney General in the state of Alabama. Talked to her Monday afternoon just to check in to see if she wanted to be on the show this week, and honest to goodness, she said, I'm almost to Orange Beach. And she said, I'm going to drive. She said, when I get there, I'm going to do the event, and I'm going to turn around and drive home. I said, Pam, spend the night. She said, no, I'm going to drive home. I'll be home by 2 or 3 in the morning. I was like, I wouldn't do that. But she's put some miles in. All these candidates have. They really have. It's been really fun to watch from somebody that enjoys political elections. And the most important thing that I want from all of you to understand and know, and if you listen to ERC, you know this. This is an educated audience. The information out there about the redistricting of the lines for the districts for the ballots has nothing to do with the primaries Tuesday. You need to go vote Tuesday. It has nothing to do that with all. You're listening to the Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram, your Alabama lawyer on WERC. We've talked to a couple candidates today. I think we're going to have one more. I think we're going to have Jared Hudson, who's running for the Senate, if he can accommodate his schedule. And I say that just saying that they're all extremely busy, and we're trying to coordinate all this on the fly at the last minute of the weekend. And so we're waiting on that. Something I wanted to talk about today, and we talked about last week, John, what was it, the 6 stages of what did I call it? Happy marriage, or 6 stages of marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So after I went back and listened to that was really depressing.
I thought it was good information.
Well, we got bogged down in stage 3, like where real life is every day, where I make a living. And I thought people would be either cutting their wrist right now or running for the hills during it.
I think, though, sometimes people move back and forth between those stages.
You're right.
I don't think they spend all the time. They progress through. Sometimes they regress and then progress and regress again.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, but stage 3 was too long. But anyway, so today I wanted to talk about, and I don't think we're going to get this in, so I'm going to save this for another show. Because this is some really good information that I've been working on. I'm working on a new project. I am creating a book for people that are going through divorce. And yes, there are enough books out there, but this is my shot at it from my point of view. and this is why I've been working on some material that I'm using here to try out. And I'm looking for a piece of paper as we speak. Where did I put it? I do not know. We're on the fly right here. We're going to break. John just keyed up the music. Okay, we're going to go to news and weather, and then hopefully we're going to have Jared Hudson. He's running for the state senate. That'll be the final segment of the show. Stay with us. We'll be back after news and weather.
You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with your lawyer, Joe Ingram. If you need confidential legal help off air, reach out to Joe at joeingramlaw.com. Stay tuned for more. Joe will be right back after this break for news and weather. You're listening to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram. Joe is a 20-year veteran of the Alabama courts specializing in criminal defense and family law. If you need a private legal consultation, email Joe at joeingramlaw.com. And now, welcome back to The Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram.
All right, we're back for the last segment of the Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram, your Alabama lawyer on WERC 105.5 in Birmingham, WBHP in Huntsville, and WRTR in Tuscaloosa. And we are so fortunate that we were able to make this happen in his schedule. Jared Hudson, former Navy SEAL, who is running for the seat for Tommy Tuberville in the United States Senate, is with us. Jared, are you here, man?
I'm here. Great to talk to you, Big Joe. And you know what? I'm fortunate that you made time for me this morning.
Jared, you've lost your mind if you said that. Goodness.
I appreciate you having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, sir. It's a pleasure. Okay, Jared, we're this is like on the 10-yard line here for a football analogy. You're into the final. Right. You're in the final couple of days here, man.
We're in the red zone, brother. We're in the red zone and hitting them and making sparks fly.
Yeah. What's your schedule like the next couple of days, man?
Brother, it is full tilt. We're going all across the state. It was in Decatur, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville area Friday. So got done with that. We got some stuff we have going on today. And then I'll actually take some time off. We've got some ballet recitals we got to go to because it's that time of year. So I will attend those. Okay. And then back at it. We have an event Sunday evening at Brock's Gap Brewery, just kind of the end of Alabama First Tour.
Okay,
right there in Hoover.
Over in Hoover. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And you can check. If people can get tickets, they're free. Just log on and get your tickets so we know how many's coming. I think we've already got 300 or 400 people that have said or gotten tickets and said they'll be showing up. So it's going to be a big event. Go there, eat, bring your kids. There's a great place to play outside on the stage. We're going to have a good time. And then Monday all over the state, and Tuesday going to vote, and then kind of spinning around all over the state till we get back for our watch party that evening.
What time is the Brock's Gap thing Sunday? Do you know, Jerry?
4:00. Yeah, 4. So 1600 Sunday evening at Brock's Gap. Okay. And y'all can check it out on our social media, and maybe even there might be a landing page on the website for it.
If I show up,
HudsonForAlabama.com.
If I show up in Hoover on Sunday, you're gonna acknowledge me that you know me, Jerry?
Oh, 100%, man. We're gonna get up on stage and take a picture. How about that?
Okay, all right. Hey, listen. So since you were in the studio and the Iran war still going on, you've been asked a lot about, I think President Trump came out in the last week and said he would be willing and he's not opposed to implementing, stopping the federal gas tax while we can't get this thing wrapped up. You've been getting a lot of blowback on that. What's the story there?
I mean, no, I haven't been getting any blowback on the people that have talked about, asking, hey, what do you think about the gas tax, the federal gas tax being, paused or at least put on hold while we deal with this thing with Iran, with the Straits, global oil markets going through the roof. I mean, 75% of our oil is produced domestically, right? But because we rely on global markets that impact the overall price, that's why we're seeing these spikes. And so it's 18.5 cents a gallon, I think is, last I read, I think it's 18.5 cents a gallon that it would ease the burden on people. And here's the thing, it's more than just at the pump, right? So when you look at diesel fuel in Alabama being $6 a gallon, well, now it's going to go down to $5.70 a gallon, whatever it is right now. It's going to go down to $5.50 or so. That's not huge at the pump, but it's going to start creating positive impact for our families over time because we see shipping costs going up. So now we're shipping groceries or we're shipping food around the nation. We're shipping food across our state. And when that cost goes down a little bit, it helps the end consumer. So I think that that's a very positive thing to ease the burden on the American people while we're basically playing the waiting game, trying to get the IRGC to come to the table and in their nuclear program and everything that they're working on. Right now, you see Trump in China making some deals there, trying to make some deals because China uses Iran as a proxy to wage war on us, to wage an economic and a military war on us. So hopefully some stuff comes out of that. But I think doing away with any taxes is good. Never seen a society taxed into prosperity. But at a minimum, pausing the federal gas tax, that would be huge since the American people are toting the burden for the cost of this conflict or this war with the IRGC right now.
Yeah. And, Jared, we've kind of hit a stalemate. Trump knows that American people do not want boots on the ground. You know that. And we've put a pause and we've got this ceasefire in place, and Iran doesn't care. They're not going to be an honest broker in mediating anything in this. I mean, everything we asked for, they came back in a counterclaim and said, we want, reparations, we want money for all the cargo ships, all this stuff. Jared, you think there's a chance we're going to get a resolution before Labor Day? Because if we don't, the Republicans are going to pay in November. I mean, what are you thinking here?
Well, and that's a great question, man. I hope and pray we do get that resolution before Labor Day for sure. I think we probably will, but right now it's a waiting game, and I don't want to put a timeline on what the Iranians are going to be able to wait. But right now it's like, this is nothing new. This tactic, what we're doing is nothing new. It's what the Romans used to do back in the day. They would surround the city with siege works, and they would sit outside the walls, right? And they would starve the city out. And so when the people in the city start starving, there's no water, they don't have the ability to go in and out, it's easier to take that city. They're more willing to make a deal, right? Right now, that's happening to Iran. From my understanding, they're out of water, or they're running out of water. The oil that they have, they're losing, I've heard, from $84 million a day to $484 million a day. So I don't know. Either way, we know they're losing millions of dollars a day, right?
Yep.
Because they can't ship their product out. They can't ship their oil out. I've even seen videos of them digging holes in the desert to store the oil they have in. They don't have the ability to export the main product that they export. China's now not receiving it. They have all these data centers, all the AI stuff they're working on that requires energy, requires oil. They're not getting access to that. I think that's why we see some of this stuff going on with Trump making a deal with China, or trying to make a deal with China. We'll see what comes out of that, hopefully, sooner than later. But on the other side, it's also cutting off, again, somebody we're waging economic war with, China. They have the land bridge that's Iran. They had the Belt Road Initiative. They had all of the stuff that they're investing in going on there. All of that's being impacted, right? And it's slowing investment. It's hurting investment. It's hurting the Iranian people. So honestly, this is the best of all our options. The only other ones are to either wipe the Persian people off the face of the map, which the politicians ain't going to do. They're not going to bomb them into oblivion. And then the last thing would be what you mentioned earlier, to put boots on the ground. And the American people are not going to be for that, because we've seen what these sort of things do. The Iranians, the Persian people, they've been there for thousands of years for a reason, because they can play the long game. We kind of have a microwave society, and it's hard for us to wait. So I hope that the waiting game is coming to an end. I think it is, as we're starving out
the Iranians, and hopefully they're ready to come to the table and make a deal. The other thing is really good, is that our Gulf state partners, our NATO partners, and even Israel have been able to come to the table a little bit more when they started getting impacted, because early on in this, they were not coming to the table and supporting in the way that they were supposed to or needed to support. And even with Israel, who was going in and bombing, the Trump administration has gone in and said, hey, all halt. Y'all have to stop killing the people that we are trying to negotiate with, or y'all have to stop dropping bombs every time we say, hey, there's a ceasefire. Don't care where you're shooting them into. What we care about is it makes us look foolish on the national stage. So really bringing our partners to the table and making sure everybody's on the same page seems to be what has started happening. And I hope that continues. If there's ever an administration that can make a deal, it's this Trump administration, because he understands the art of the deal.
Yeah. I saw, Jared, I could talk to you all day long because I love politics and geopolitics. I saw a report the other day that, with Iran, the IRGC and the soldiers and the people that really matter. I mean, it's a country of 98 million people, but really only 2 million people are really what's controlling the place, right? And I saw a report the other day that the top leadership, when I say top, I'm talking about the clerics and the IRGC people that would be hung in the street if we took it over. They're thinking about trying to flee to Russia, to Putin land, if this thing goes bad. I don't know.
Well, and I've heard the same thing. I've heard the exact same thing. And in all honesty, when you're looking at that many people, the biggest thing that probably the biggest tactic we're seeing is when you start to starve a country or, a city, as they did back, like I said, in Roman times, and then when they would build the siege works against the walls of a city, when you start to starve people out, and then they're scared to death, they don't know, are we going to get bombed or are we not going to get bombed? Are we, is the Americans attacking us? What are we going to do? They start to turn on their leadership, right?
Yeah.
We see it in every society. And so now you have a country of 100 million people, a little bit less than 100 million people, that are getting to the point where the people who are being starved out, the people who don't have water, the people who don't know if they're going to get hit with a bomb from Israel or the United States of America at some point in time, they're going to start turning on their leaders. And I think that's the waiting game that we're playing right now, because like you said, when you have, 2 to 5 million that are IRGC and you have 90 to 95 million that don't really care, they're just the Persian people that want to live regular life, they very well might turn on their leadership and run them out. So I do think that is one of the reasons you're hearing reports of that possibly happening, those guys fleeing to Russia or wherever.
Yeah. We're talking with Jared Hudson, running for United States Senate. Jared, just a couple more brief questions. I appreciate your time, sir. So let me ask you, runoff yes, runoff no, and where are you at on that, and where are you on your money if you have to get to a runoff?
Yeah, so number one, I think statistically it's about impossible for there not to be a runoff with, 7 names on the ballot in this race. With that being said, we are doing really well. We're cruising really good. And you know what? God will get unbelievable honor and glory if we're able to come in 50+1 on Tuesday. And it is possible. That's the thing, especially with how we're surging. It is possible because people are sick of career politicians. And so with that being said, being one of the front runners, that has been unbelievably helpful, because I had a guy tell me the other day, he said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And the people of Alabama are sick of doing the same thing over and over again and electing the same people. So that's number one. God will get all the honor and glory for it if we get 50+1. So I'm excited to see him work. But at the same time, if you're just looking at the numbers, we'll go to a runoff. Number two, hey, we are ready. We've got a lot of dry powder. We are ready to fight it out in the runoff and be able to cruise through the end and keep this snowball rolling down this hill. We've got unbelievable momentum, but again, it's not Jared Hudson's just a name on a ballot. I mean nothing. This is a movement of the people of Alabama, and more importantly, this is a path that the Lord has paved. We're just walking down the road, and when the Lord paves the road for you, it makes it easy walking down it, as long as you don't veer to the left or the right.
Just maybe 2 more questions, Jared. I know you're real busy today. Where are you going to be Tuesday night, Jared? Where are you going to be when the votes?
Yeah, so we're doing our watch party Tuesday night. The old Gardendale First Baptist Church over in Gardendale. They have
Main Street.
An event center.
Yep.
On Main Street. Yeah, they have an event center over there that we are going to be doing our watch party in. We'll put out some information, I believe, on that. We're going to, anybody that wants to can come out to it. The big event we're pushing for right now is the event in Hoover that night, and from there we'll push out information on the watch party. Thank you so much, man. Good to see y'all. Had some people walk by. I stepped out of here, had some people walk by and say, "Hey, we're voting for you. You're a guy." So, anyway, all that being said, we're going to be on that old Gardendale First Baptist facility right across from the Gardendale Civic Center on Tuesday night, and look forward to seeing anybody that wants to make it out there.
Okay. Jared, thank you for your time today, sir, and I wish you safe travels the next couple of days, okay? And I wish you the best Tuesday night, sir.
Man, thank you, Brother Joe. Hey, holler if you need anything. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, now, look, I'm not kidding. I may show up Sunday, okay? So
brother,
if I do
show up, we'd love to see you.
Okay, I may show up because I don't come out much, Jared. I'm an introvert. So if I show up,
hey, every time I've seen you, you've been in a jacket and a tie. This is going to be not a jacket and tie affair. It's going to be a regular, Alabama blue jeans, boots, and flannel shirt type affair.
I got you, dude. I got you. All right, you be safe, okay, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, well, folks, that was Jared Hudson. He's running for United States Senate. John, he sounds more energized than probably anybody I've talked to in a long time. Of course, he was a Navy SEAL, so
every time I've seen him, he's always looked very energized.
Yeah, I mean, he's just jacked up.
Always on top of it, always ready to go. A lot of energy.
Yeah, that's because he's SEAL training. I would be exhausted by now, honest to goodness. Well, we only got about 10 minutes left of the legal lowdown. The material that I wanted to cover, I'm going to save it for next week because everybody will be glad that the election's over and we can get back to some really good information. So I think in the final minutes, I want to talk about what's happened here in the last 2 weeks. So some case law came down, and it affected the redistricting of state lines for districts for voting. And Alabama jumped on it like some other states have, and they pushed for the legislation. Kay Ivey signed it immediately, and we have a provisional election set tentatively for August 11th if the courts say, okay, you're good to go. And everybody's on bated breath thinking, yeah, we're going to do this. And, by the way, there is going to be an event today down in Selma. The Democrats are marching. They're really upset about what happened in Montgomery this last week. There's going to be a lot of people in Selma. I'm told some national figures are going to be here for that event as well. And I'm not picking sides here one way or another. I'm just telling you what's going to happen on Saturday. So this is my chance to kind of pick the horses, if you will. I've been watching this really, really close, more than most people, more than the 30% that don't know what day it is of the week. Or they just don't want to tell anybody how they're going to vote. So this is what I think, and this is a given. Tommy Tuberville is going to win the governor race, correct? Yeah. John's over there going, yeah, we got that one. Lieutenant governor? I don't know. I haven't kept up with that one that much. Goodness, where is my score sheet? I'm thinking, what do you think? John, you got a vote on this? You want to say something?
I really don't have a position one way or the other.
You don't make a prediction?
No, not yet, because I think I could still see a lot of it could go any way. And lieutenant governor is an important position. in the state because don't forget the current occupant of the governor's house is the former lieutenant governor who came in, when the Love Gov stepped down. So
okay.
So it's an important. So don't sleep on this one. This is an important decision.
I know. Attorney General. I believe there's going to be a runoff. I'm thinking it's going to be Catherine Robertson, and I believe it's going to be Jay Mitchell in a runoff. If I had to put a nickel on it, that's what I think.
And that race has been rather ugly. There's been a lot of back and forth, especially the ads you've seen against both of them. I hate when they go negative like that because then it gets really hard and you lose the issues. And now it's just a matter of who went to the mosque or to celebrate Ramadan and who went back to Afghanistan. All this stuff that I don't think actually matters to Alabama, but we toss it in there just to try and stir things up.
Yeah. You're not going to make a prediction on any of these, or can you not?
Oh, I could make a prediction, but all I will say is I think you're right. Governor, definitely, I think Tuberville's going to walk away with it for the Republican side. Yeah. And on the Democrat side, of course, Doug Jones will walk away with it.
Absolutely.
For the rest of the races, I think we're going to see a lot of runoffs.
Yeah, I do too. And especially when I just looked at the weather, if we have rain, now, typically, if there's rain in November and it's cold, nobody wants to go out. If it's rain and it's warm, maybe that doesn't affect it that much. Just thinking.
Well, another thing, Joe, is there's a lot of confusion with the possibility of that. It's already been stated that your vote for congressman in the 6th or the 7th will not count this time around.
Yeah.
Because they're going to throw those out, and you'll vote supposedly in August. But that makes a lot of people kind of confused about, well, wait a minute, what's being thrown out? They're confused, and confusion is never good on election day.
So, do you think that they've shot themselves in the foot with what they've done? You think that's going to hurt some of the candidates in this? Possibly.
It could. What that'll do is that'll mean only the people who are real, because already it's a primary, so you don't have a president on the ticket, so it's fewer people going to turn out to vote anyway. So that means the more dedicated, the more invested, and then the runoff, you get even less people going out to vote in the runoff.
Yeah, in June. Secretary of State, I'm going to make a prediction. I think Caroleene Dobson wins without a runoff. I think she takes it like the Kentucky Derby. I'm just going to say it. Caroleene Dobson's going to win that one. And then what's the other one? What's the other big one? There's 4.
Lieutenant Governor.
Governor. We did them all.
Senator.
Senator.
U.S. Senator.
See,
you just talked to one of the candidates.
I had a tough week, John. So I think it is going to be obviously Barry Moore, and I'm thinking the dark horse in this is going to be Jared Hudson and Barry Moore.
So you think Jared pulls it out, and then they go on to the actual runoff, and then
I think Barry would probably get it because of
the Trump endorsement.
The Trump endorsement, yeah. If I had to bet a nickel on this race, that's what I would predict.
And the name recognition, because he's congressman.
Yes, and I was speaking with Congressman Barry Moore's office this week. They really think there is an outside chance that there may not be a runoff. They said they looked at some polling data. They said, Joe, we think we may not even have to do this. And I was like, really?
You'll say that. You'll always say things like that. You're never going to say, yeah, I don't think we're going to win. So you're always going to say, yeah, we're confident we're gonna take it. But still, everyone come out and vote for us. Because you don't want to say, yeah, we're going to take it without a runoff. We don't even need to try, because then no one turns out. So you always want to make people think that you're a little behind, but you don't want to make it seem like it's impossible.
Yeah. Well, I just think, for the Senate race, I like all the candidates. I just think somehow in this race, even though Steve Marshall has been on the stage for 8 years, right? I mean, he's got a lot of name recognition. Somehow or another, he's gotten lost in the last 8 weeks of the race. Only except in the last week, he was able to shine again because he's the one that pushed the legislation for the vote in August if we have it. So, you know, he got to do that. I'm just thinking, I get to go all over the state. I get to talk to lots of people. For some reason, something tells me in my gut it's going to be Barry Moore and Jared in a runoff. And I may be wrong, but if I had to put a nickel on it, that's what I'm thinking right now. We'll see. The big thing that nobody ever talks about. When you turn over on the back of the ballot, you know, nobody ever reads that, John. When it talks about constitutional amendments,
the constitutional amendments are written in such a convoluted way. The amendment to disapprove not allowing that. I mean, there's like quadruple negatives in there. They do that on purpose.
It's written by lawyers, John.
Yeah,
it's written by lawyers for a reason. But anyway, it's really important about this. There is an amendment on the we're about to be done about putting the 10 Commandments back in school. So if you want to do that, please look at that and vote for that. Guys, it's been a phenomenal week. We've enjoyed it. John, thank you for your excellent help today. John's done yeoman's work beyond belief to make this happen. We'll talk to y'all next week. We got to go. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Legal Lowdown with your lawyer, Joe Ingram of Joe Ingram Law. Don't forget to follow Joe's Legal Lowdown podcast on iHeart. If you need a private legal consultation, reach out to Joe on his website, joeingramlaw.com. Tune in again next Saturday for the Legal Lowdown with Joe Ingram. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by any other lawyer.